Now, as part of the steps towards finding a lasting solution to the farmers and herdsmen crisis, a committee made up of technocrats. You heard Dr. Kwasari in our earlier segment talk about the committee set up to go ahead and do this. Now, that committee made traditional rulers and religious leaders to interface with the leadership of Miyetti Allah. The Benue State Governor on February the 1st approved the imposition of a dusk-to-dawn curfew in Boko Town from yesterday, from January the 31st until further notice. All of these things are things happening around there. But to help us understand the situation in Benue State, we have the Commissioner of Police, Benue State, Mr. Fatai Owusheni. Thank you for joining us. And Tahav Agezwa, Special Advisor on Media and ICT to the Benue State Governor, both of them in our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's Tahav Agezwa. Mr. Owusheni will probably join us in the course of the conversation. Mr. Agezwa, after that curfew from January the 31st, what would you say is the situation now in Benue?
Well, the situation in Benue is a cry for help. Right now, we have an enormous humanitarian crisis on our hands. The resources of the state government have been overstretched. You know the challenges that we have had in fixing decayed infrastructure, in paying regular salaries, and in meeting other government obligations have been compounded with the situation of massive displaced people in Logo and Guma local government areas. And the killings are also going on in isolated places. In Boko, we've not heard of any further development, but there is massive desertion of the villages as a result of lack of adequate presence of security surveillance. So the people have now fled to the camps, and the armed herdsmen have occupied their places, have taken over their farmlands and their houses. So now we are crying for help in Benue State. We need food, we need medical care, we need facilities in the camps. We have over 100 displaced people in 7 camps, and we are still counting. So we need help at the moment.
Okay.
Perhaps it is necessary to reflect on what is happening in Benue State. What is happening in Benue State is an occupation by a group that served notice that they were coming to occupy Benue State and take over the land. If you will recall, on a Tuesday, 30th May last year, the leadership of Miyetti Allah Kautahore, led by its president, Alhaji Abdullahi Bodejo, and Secretary General Al-Hassan Saleh, stated that the crisis in Benue State was a struggle for the natural resources of the Benue Valley, and that we are going to mobilize their kingsmen from across the world to invade Benue and take over the land. They served this notice on 30th May last year, and the state governor, Samuel Otom, the State House of Assembly, and the socio-cultural organizations rose up to petition to the presidency, to the security agencies, that these threats were real and the people were coming to invade Benue. So at the moment, they are in Benue. It is an invasion. We don't know when it will end. And we cannot say it is over and we don't know when it is over. And the spillover effect is massive displaced people, predominantly children of school age who cannot go to school they lack adequate food. I went to the one of the displaced camps at Abagna in Makudi, and I shed tears when I saw children unkept, when I saw that they had slept on the bare floor, when I saw that they were dirty, in spite of the response of the state government. The situation has overwhelmed the state government, and we are calling for help. That is what is happening at the moment.
Can we ask questions?
Yes, Mr. Agesua, you said that they served notice last year, and you appealed to the federal government, you appealed to the security agencies. Now, not having gotten any response, what did the state government do in the face of this threat, which has now become a reality?
You know the handicap of the state government. The state government alerted the security agencies, but unfortunately, the governor doesn't have the control of the police. He cannot give orders to the police. He can only appeal. What the state government did was to purchase vehicles and security gadgets for the security people to work with, so that in the case of threat to peace, they could respond. But the state government could not go beyond that. It had to fall back on the federal government, which has the capacity, which has the control of the security apparatus, of the apparatus of coercion and of power.
Okay. Now that tens of thousands of people have been displaced as a result of this attack, is there any help? You say that the people need food, they need, drugs, they're in camps. Is any help coming from the center at all?
There was initial response from the National Emergency Management Agency. They brought a few relief items and said they had come to study the situation and that they will make an assessment and come back. That was 2 weeks ago, and that's the last we heard about them. Incidentally, the camps have increased. They were initially 5, but with attacks in Nasarawa State, there has been influx into Benue State. Moreover, with the lack of security presence in the areas of trouble spots of Guma and Logo local government areas, there has been more influx into the displaced people's camps. And we are yet to have NEMA get back to help. We're still expecting help from that direction and any other direction that help can come.
Okay.
We just before you came on, we were talking to the advisor to the vice president, who informed us of the steps that government is taking now towards resolving this issue. How much confidence do you all have in Benue in these steps that are being taken?
It is difficult for us in Benue State to have confidence in the federal government that failed to respond to warnings of attacks on the state. It is very, very difficult for us to believe that the federal government is sincere when we made repeated calls for intervention and they didn't come. And when we have a law in place, which the Constitution empowers us to enact for the good governance of the state, and they are not helping us to implement the law. And then we reported a specific group of people that threatened that they will attack us, and they came to attack, and these people have not been held to account. These people have not been arrested. We are not aware that they have been invited for questioning. So we wonder what is going on. It seems that there are deliberate plans to emasculate us, to isolate us for this kind of treatment that is being given to us.
Now, you've heard Mr. Osheni talk about how much of confidence building they are trying to do. He's talked about giving assurances that everybody will be protected. And he also took a swipe at you when you said you have no confidence in the efforts of the government. But now that you've heard him say that they are doing all of this, what would you say?
I would say I expected that he would say those that the Benue State governor, the House of Assembly, and the leaders reported to the security agencies have been arrested and questioned in connection with the invasion, in connection with the threats which they made. Now, if they do that, then the people of Benue State will know that there are no sacred cows. But now when you report specific people, you call their names, you cite instances where they made threats of invasion, and 6 months after, they carry out the invasion and they are not arrested, they are not questioned. How do you expect the people to have confidence in this? Yes, there has been some efforts at deployments. The killings have reduced, although, as I mentioned, there are still isolated cases of killings. But for the people of the state to have confidence that the federal government is giving them justice, why not have a starting point where they arrest the leaders of Meati Allah Kautahore? Are these people above the law? Do they have immunity? Why are they not arrested? And they gave these threats 6 months ago. Why not start from there? That is the gross of the people of the state. Start from these obvious people that live in Abuja. Why not arrest them? Why are they above the law?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tahab Agezo, a special advisor on media and ICT to the Benue State Governor. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.